Candace Owens walked onto the debate stage at Howard University with the confidence of someone who'd never lost an argument. The conservative commentator, dressed in her signature red blazer, had one goal: destroy Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in front of a packed auditorium and millions watching online. What happened next would become the most viral political moment of 2024, and Owens would spend weeks trying to recover from it. Before we dive into this explosive confrontation, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss what happens when political titans clash on live TV. Trust me, you've never seen a debate end like this one did. The tension in the Howard University auditorium was thick enough to cut with a knife. On one side stood Candace Owens, the 35-year-old conservative firebrand who'd built her career on owning the libs and defending Trump. On the other, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, the 43-year-old former public defender from Texas who become known for her sharp wit and even sharper comebacks in congressional hearings. "I'm here to expose the Democratic plantation mentality," Owens declared into her microphone, her voice dripping with contempt. And Jasmine Crockett is their newest overseer. The crowd gasped, some booed, others cheered, but Crockett, she just smiled. And that smile should have been Owens' first warning that this wasn't going to go the way she planned. To understand why this moment mattered so much, you need to know who these women are and why their clash represents something much bigger than just two people arguing on stage. Candace Owens had built her entire brand on being the black conservative who tells the truth about the Democratic Party. With over 4 million followers on X, a daily podcast, and regular Fox News appearances, she'd become one of the most recognizable faces in conservative media. Her specialty? Attacking black Democrats as slaves to the party, calling them race hustlers, and positioning herself as the one who escaped the plantation. Jasmine Crockett was different. The freshman congresswoman from Dallas had spent years as a public defender before entering politics. Unlike many politicians who come from wealth or connections, Crockett had worked her way up defending people who couldn't afford lawyers. She'd won her seat by actually listening to her community, not by making viral videos. But don't mistake her professional demeanor for weakness. This was a woman who'd faced down hostile judges and aggressive prosecutors for a living. The debate at Howard University wasn't just any event. It was billed as the future of black politics in America, and tickets had sold out in minutes. Howard, one of the most prestigious historically black universities in the nation, had agreed to host after both women accepted the invitation. The university's cramped auditorium, which had hosted everyone from Martin Luther King Jr. to Barack Obama, was packed with over 2,500 people, students, faculty, media, and political observers from across the spectrum. For Owens, it was a chance to bring her message directly to what she called the belly of the beast, a liberal black institution. She spent weeks hyping the event on her podcast, calling her Daniel in the Lion's Den moment. Her team had even created a documentary crew to follow her, planning to turn this into a film about bringing truth to indoctrinated students. She walked in expecting to be a conquering hero, the brave conservative willing to face the liberal mob. For Crockett, it was home turf, but that also meant more pressure to perform. Howard wasn't just any university to her. She'd attended law school there, walked these same halls, sat in these same seats. Many of her former professors were in the audience. This wasn't just a debate. It was a homecoming with the highest possible stakes. The moderator, CNN's Abby Phillip, had barely finished introducing both women when Owens launched her first attack. "I'm standing in a building," Owens said, gesturing around the auditorium, where young black minds are being poisoned daily with victimhood narratives. And Congresswoman Crockett is here to make sure that poison keeps flowing. The Howard students in the audience shifted uncomfortably. Some looked angry, others curious. This was exactly what Owens wanted: controversy, attention, clips that would go viral. She'd done this dance 100 times before. Attack, provoke, wait for the emotional response, then claim victory when her opponent got flustered. But Jasmine Crockett wasn't getting flustered. She was taking notes. "The stakes tonight are simple," Owens continued, pacing the stage like a prosecutor. Either black Americans wake up to how the Democratic Party has failed them for 60 years, or they continue to vote for people like Ms. Crockett, who promise everything and deliver nothing but excuses. The conservative side of the audience, yes, there were some, applauded. Owens smiled, feeling the familiar rush of commanding a room. She prepared for this moment for weeks, studying Crockett's voting record, her speeches, looking for weaknesses. She thought she'd found them. What Owens didn't know was that Crockett had done her homework too. And unlike Owens, who relied on talking points and viral moments, Crockett had something more powerful: facts, receipts, and the ability to think on her feet from years in the courtroom. The first real clash came when Abby Phillip asked about economic policy in black communities. Owens jumped in immediately, not even waiting for the question to finish. The poverty rate in black communities has barely budged despite decades of Democratic control, Owens declared, pulling out what looked like prepared statistics. Cities like Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, all run by Democrats, all failing black families. And what does Congresswoman Crockett do? She votes for more of the same failed policies. She turned to face Crockett directly. Tell me, Congresswoman, how do you sleep at night knowing you're perpetuating the very systems that keep black people poor? The audience stirred. This was a Candace Owens they'd seen in countless YouTube clips. Aggressive, confrontational, ready for war. Some of her supporters in the audience started chanting, "Facts! Facts! Facts!" But something interesting happened. The Howard students, rather than getting riled up, began pulling out their phones, not to record but to fact-check. Within seconds, Twitter was lighting up with real-time corrections to Owens' statistics. A political science major quickly tweeted, Owens just cited Baltimore poverty stats from 2010. Current data shows significant improvement under Democratic leadership. The tweet was already getting shared around the auditorium before Crockett even stood up to respond.